Warning, you are about to enter the BGP suite. No thongs, no boy shorts, no thigh highs, no commandos are permissible. BGP, big girl panties only. So pull up to woman up. And no, please don't leave with your panties in a bunch.
Welcome to BGP. Today, we are discussing this controversial topic that took place, within the past week. There's consequences for every action, so today is getting jiggy with it. Nah, 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 ah. Nah, 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 nah.
Get slappy with it.
Nah, 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 nah. So, I don't like you, and I'm going to keep picking on you every time I see you at events for years to come, on my shows, on other people's shows, and now at a big event like the Oscars. And not only do I not like you, I'm going to talk shit about your spouse too, because I know you ain't going to do shit. That's why I'm going to say, you know what? Jada, I love you. I'll see you in the part 2. Smack. Let me go back and have a seat. Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. What? It was a joke. Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. I will. Cut and scene. Adrianne, what's going through your mind when that happens? What were you thinking?
Honestly, initially, I happened to be upstairs and I was recording it. My mother called. She said, "Oh my God, you are not going to believe. Is this real?" I'm like, "Is what real?" She said, "Will Smith just slapped the shit out of," and that's just how she said it too. Slapped the shit out of Chris Rock. I was like, no way. And as soon as she said it, I put it up on Facebook and it was already the repeat of it. And I was like, that's fake. That's fake. It's rigged. And it didn't even look like it connected to me. I don't care how much I rewound it or paused it. I just said, this is some kind of publicity stunt. They trying to get some kind of, this is part of the whole act. That was my initial thought.
Okay. Mona, what was your initial thought when you saw the video?
Well, actually, I didn't see it live. I was in my living room doing some hair, and my son ran into the living room, and he said, that Will Smith had just slapped Chris Rock. And so he played it for us. And I'm like, what the hell, over a joke? And I just went on doing hair.
Did you ladies expect it to blow up as big as it's blown up when you saw it the first time? Did you expect it to just go as far as it's been going, and it's still going every day? Did you expect that?
No, absolutely not. I didn't think it was going to get this big. But as they got deeper into kind of some of the stuff that might have been behind it, then I said, okay, yeah, they're going to run with this for a long time. And then that's even further what made me feel like it was rigged. Like maybe they had another movie coming out behind it, and that's why they did that. But I'm thinking, why would they pick such a large worldwide stage to do something like that? So I didn't think it would. I knew it would get big, but not to the point where it is today. It's like I get to the point where now, as soon as I see them showing that video of him walking up to the stage, I just turn the TV because it starts to make me feel some kind of way. Yeah,
I thought it was going to blow up because I think that it was very inappropriate, especially when he started cussing at the Oscars. And I was like, this is going to go all bad. For me, the joke really wasn't a joke. The joke was kind of like a compliment to a empowering movie at that time, because G.I. Jane was a test, because they were trying to figure out why they weren't letting women into the Navy SEAL, and so they used her as a recruit because of her femininity. So when I thought of G.I. Jane and I saw Jada with the green on, with the bald head, I was like, that could be really a next role for her.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought about it until all the backlash came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I noticed you said that, all of this over a joke. Is there a such thing as a joke crossing the line, ever? Is there ever a situation where you be like, okay, you crossed the line. Like, that's too much. I'm going to start with you.
Comedians always cross the line. That's why you go to their shows. You go to their shows to hear them crack jokes to cross the line.
Clown. Mm-hmm.
He's a comedian. He was up there doing his job, point blank, period.
I feel the same way. I think that I think there are certain things that's off limit, like you go too far. But in that case, it was like lightweight. And I think like Mona just said, when you go to see a comedian, if you don't want to get clowned, you don't want to get bagged on, or don't sit in the front row because you might get talked about. So, usually when a comedian hits the stage, they might point somebody out in the audience. They might use that to, move the thing right along. So yeah, I think that's part of the job. Yeah.
Okay. Because I noticed, there were some other people that were clowning Mr. Smith and Mrs. Smith initially before Chris Rock even came out. And they took it on the chin. They laughed, ha-ha, kiki, and it was fine. But then once he kind of went at that angle like, Jada, I love you. And then I'm going to say what I want to say. It just kind of seemed like... Too much to me. Like, I felt like it was too much, only because, as some people was trying to say, he didn't know. And it was like, bullshit. He knew. He knew. He knew. He knew.
He knew what?
Hold on. He knew. Shit. Be giving me that mama voice.
He knew what?
He knew her situation because they were friends.
But
they were friends.
But that means he knew?
I mean, it was public record. It wasn't like it's been a secret.
Okay, everybody don't know Jada Pinkett and everybody don't follow her.
Agreed. But he does.
And not to mention, she done cut her hair many a times before.
Okay,
bald
she's
head.
always been bald head.
Yeah, she's a bald head.
Short haircuts, I agree. But it's never been as scalp bald as it is now.
And I'm not saying she's lying about the alopecia. I just have seen alopecia look different than what hers look like. Usually you have like little ringworm looking spots that are just completely clean. And you working in that industry.
Alopecia really presents itself as patches.
That's
the size of a coin. I did see one time, I think she may have it because I did see one time where it looked like she had a circle, but that last thing that she showed, she just had a line going across her head.
Yes, right.
Now that may come because when she first came out with it, she said that her hair was falling out because of the chemicals that she put in her hair. So if you do not rinse out relaxer, you can get a chemical burn. If you do not rinse out color, because color is very damaging, even if you go black. But the lighter you go, the more damaging it is. If you do not rinse out that relaxer, it stays in your head, it can cause a chemical burn. If you have short hair and I hit it with the hairspray and I tap that curling iron on your scalp, you can have a chemical burn. So it also appears in... There's different types of alopecia. There's total alopecia where you lose your eyebrows, your eyelashes, all the hair on your body. There's alopecia tension and friction from braids. When you see a woman with braids, as Neisha, and in the scalp area, you see those white bubs. That is actually the follicle that has came outside of the hair. That means that piece of hair is not going to grow back. You know, and so that's why you lose your edges. Right. Because the perimeter of your hair is your most delicate area, your most fragile hair. It can come from stress. Alopecia can come from poor diet. So she possibly does have it. But here's my question. Do we say that every person that is bald-headed because they have alopecia?
No.
Or is that a hairstyle that a lot of women like to rock?
Now.
So my thing is, he may not have known. But I don't think that he was gearing it towards her having alopecia. Comparison to G.I. Jane, who was in Greene in the Army with a bald head.
Yes.
I don't know. I just say that I know he's been picking on this woman for years. I mean, there's like so many clips that have been dropped this week showing where every time he's doing something, Jada names gets thrown out. Not Will, Jada. Well, 2016 when he hosted the Oscars, he did mention them both, but you know, he's always aiming his jab at her. And so I'm not saying that anybody should get up and slap somebody solely because they don't like what they're saying. I think, you know, there's other ways that it could have been handled. But I can say I understand. I also can understand frustration of a husband where you're like, damn, Nick, every time I turn around, you got my wife's name in your mouth. Where's your wife? Oh, that's right. You divorced yours. Because, I mean, not only did you make a movie called I Think I Love My Wife, you cheated and you divorced her. But every time you going on somebody's show, every time you had your own show, which is now on HBO Max right now, where they're playing his old Chris Rock shows, look at how many times he took jabs at Jada. And then you come on the Oscars, she's not nominated for an Oscar. She was there to support her husband. And instead of you, like you was poking fun at the other nominees, instead of you poking fun at Will, you poke fun at Jada, who was just there just supporting her husband. That, to me, doesn't seem right to me.
But we didn't even get an opportunity to see what was going to come next. Like maybe he was going to next clown Will. The whole thing is her sensitivity on any of it to me when I just don't feel sorry for her. I really don't. I mean, if she does have alopecia and she's sensitive about that, we were discussing it earlier. There's so many different ways that you could cover it up. You could count. You chose to put it out there, and that's fine. That's good. That's if that's what you want to do. But I just don't feel sorry for her. I'm still angry with Jada because of the whole way she just did him on the Red Table Talk. I just can't get past that. So I think that's why I already have my defense up in for Chris, is because she was just so nasty to how she treated Will. And now here he is, all of a sudden now he got some balls and he gonna go up there and slap somebody. And I understand by reading his book that maybe this was his moment. You know what I mean? Like all this time I felt like a coward, like a punk, and now here's my opportunity. So yeah.
Okay, let's go back to the alopecia where everybody is having a fit about. How many memes have been on the internet where they've been clowning women for their antics? How many memes have been on the internet where they've clowned LeBron James for having a bald spot? A few days before the Oscars, Jada did a video saying that she loves her bald head. She's rocking this bald head. She don't care what nobody says about her bald head. So was it true or was it not? So let's go back. Chris Rock has cracked jokes on Tupac. That's the love of her life. Chris Rock, when Jada went live 2016, because she thought she had some clout, because she was mad because her husband wasn't nominated for the 2016 Oscar. She asked everybody to boycott that Oscar. Well, Chris Rock did not boycott the Oscars. He actually hosted the Oscars. So like Neisha said, he did crack some jokes on her and Will. Okay, she came back with her clap back and said it comes with the territory. So I will agree with you somewhat where they might have a little beef. However, whose night was it?
Will's.
It was Will's night. It was the Williams night. It was the cast and the crew's night.
It was every nominee's night.
It was every
I get it.
nominee's night. So he cracks a joke, and that's not something for you to do and go up there and slap somebody. I need to know where the GPS is that I can purchase to locate the danger. She was not in danger from a damn joke. This was not about Jada Pinkett. Point blank period for me.
Yeah, I don't think it was a case of her feeling in danger. Just like I don't get why people are sitting there saying, why she didn't do this? Why she shouldn't have rolled her eyes? And it's like, so you're mad because she rolled her eyes because she didn't like a joke. And so what? I probably would have rolled my eyes too. I'm like, pick a better joke. Like, the shit's not funny. It was tasteless, to be honest. I don't care. But if her husband feels like, God damn, this nigga still got her name in his mouth. Let me help him out real quick. Because clearly everybody thinks I'm a punk. I know that I wrote in my book, I like to protect the women in my family because I have this guilt that I still hold about not being able to protect my mother when she was getting her ass whooped by my father. So I always made this vow that the women in my family would be extremely protected to me. So if I feel like, because I mean, yes, I was laughing at first, but if I look over and I see my wife feeling some kind of way, like roll her eyes like that, it's not funny, but whatever, I'm going to react. Is it right? No. Could it have been handled differently? Absolutely. Could he have checked them behind the scenes? Yeah, he could have. But I also understand how in that moment, he's like, I got to do something. Like he puts on that superhero that he likes to portray in movies. I got to get up there, put this cape on, and I got to go stop him from making fun of my wife. I mean, what happened after he told Chris to keep his name out of his mouth? I will. Okay. Matter of fact, nobody else that night said anything else about Jada and Will because they was the butt of the jokes for a lot of the people that was coming out, and they just kept taking it on the chin and kept doing it. And then after that one, it was just like, I think we should leave them alone now. We'll leave them alone. What are your thoughts?
Couple of things run through my head when he went up there. One is that here is your husband, and you can see that he was, now that you made your little roll of the eyes, that he's going to try to go up and protect you. He wasn't moving fast. I think as this being my husband, and I can see that he's been triggered and he's somewhat out of control. What could I have done to maybe prevent him from going up there making a fool of himself on this major platform in front of all these people that could possibly make him lose endorsements and movie deals and everything else, but maybe go up and grab him, even if you had to grab his jacket and say, come here, baby, don't, something. And I know sometimes when you're in the heat of the moment, you don't get to think rationally, but it seems like she didn't even do it. It was almost like she was inviting it, like, go ahead, do what you got to do. Nigga, show them that show me something. Maybe I don't know. I just think that she could have done something more to help prevent it from going any further. The roll of the eyes already got him where he was, on one. You know what I mean? And I'm sure they've had that discussion before with them being husband and wife that, I felt this way and I probably should do more to protect women. And that now here's that thing where everybody's talking about Black women aren't protected. Why wouldn't she just, even if she had to just grab him? I don't know. So many things have went through my head. I think that would have been one thing that she could have done to kind of help prevent it from getting that far.
Here's my thing. You always hear men say that they need their women to be their peace. You always hear men ask the question, how does being married benefit a man? This was going to be a very monumental moment for Will Smith. He did not get to be nominated for the Oscars. This was his first Oscar. The Oscars have been aired since 1929. There's only been 4 African-American men that have won an Oscar for the leading role, and he would be the 5th man to win this Oscar. So for me, like Adrianne said, what could I have done to prevent it as his wife? So when you have a wife, you have an extra brain. If it's in its right mind. You have an extra set of eyes. You have an extra set of ears. You have an extra mouth. You have extra limbs. So the week of the Oscars, my husband is nominated. He about to get loved up. He about to get the massages, the bubble baths, his favorite music, his food, and because he's antsy. He's nervous. Yeah. He's a bundle of nerves. He doesn't know if he's going to win. He doesn't know if he's going to lose because nobody knows what's going to happen until that day. He doesn't know what he's going to say. He doesn't know what he's not going to say. He might be an asshole all week. But me as his woman, as his peace, he might cuss me out. I got to hold that because this is his day. This don't have shit to do with me. So I'm loving on him, rubbing on him, giving him extra sex, giving him those affirmations, telling him he's got this, we about to win, just loving him up, his favorite food or whatever. Because when a man is like a pizza oven, you're supposed to be his air conditioner. So, on the way to the Oscars, because we have had prior beef with Chris Rock, we in the limo, we fly as hell. A woman that loves her man, her husband, she has wisdom. She's going to think about some things that he might not think about because he's all over the place with his emotions. That's when a woman has the foresight to say, baby, you know we're about to go to these do these Oscars, right? You know who's hosting, right? It's Chris Rock. You know Chris Rock has came for us on multiple occasions. Here's the thing. He might come for you. He might come for me. Yeah. Don't bite. If he come for me, don't trip. If he come for you, don't trip. Because here's the thing. He's out there presenting. He's out there being a host. You about to win an Oscar.
There you go.
And nothing can come between this. Nothing can tank this. We are going to be in front of millions of people.
The world.
You are nominated for an Oscar about a black man from Compton who had a vision that he brought to fruition about two little black girls from Compton who became the baddest female tennis players of all times. And you were able to write this movie. Your baby is getting nominated. And you are able to give this man his flowers while he's alive, the flowers that the powers that be did not want him to have.
Yes.
Nothing can ruin this moment. This is for Venus and Serena, their daddy, their family. For you, this is your baby. And you know how somebody is nervous about birthing their baby. You know, you wrote a book, you write poems, we do all kinds of things, and we put our babies out here. So for that baby to get nominated, that's
big.
And as his woman, you can't even imagine the emotions that are bubbling up inside of him. And to add to that, if I decide not to put my big girl panties on, if he come for me, I need you to grab me and tell me don't trip.
Exactly.
So now we get to the Oscars. We fly to the motherfucker. We looking good, and here come Chris Rock with his shenanigans. We look at each other and we start laughing. But we ain't even laughing at the joke because we already had the foresight to know what was going on. That's how you handle that. That was the wrong place and the wrong time for Will Smith to try to exude his manhood. Period.
Yeah. I mean, we preaching. We already said that. Bad timing. But a lot of people aren't really placing the sole blame on Will and his decision to get up there. They're placing the blame solely on Jada for rolling her eyes. So I guess that's where I have an issue with it, because it's like you're basically telling her, you should have just sat there and showed, no, just be stoic. Just sit there. No reaction. No nothing. That's impossible.
Yeah,
that's impossible to do.
And I understand, because I'm the one with the faces.
Yeah.
I probably would have gave him the finger.
Yes,
okay, exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
That's where we come in to play with him.
Right.
Don't do it.
Right.
Here's the thing.
And hold on.
Okay.
So that's the other thing, because a lot of people are saying, like, she could have stopped him. She could have this. And my question is, what if she didn't expect him to go on that stage to slap him? What if she thought when he was going to go on stage, he was going to take that mic and be like, baby, you know, whatever it is, I love you. You still beautiful. I always tell you beautiful, whatever. Or just for those of you that don't know, my wife suffers from alopecia and blah, blah, blah. What if that's what she thought was going to happen? What if she had no inkling that, he's about to go up there and slap the shit out this man?
She shouldn't have allowed him to go on stage, period.
Yes. I mean, my thing is, you know your man.
Yes.
Usually you know your man. You know the look in his eye, the move, and his body language. You know what he about to do. You know him. So that's why, like what Mona was saying, you're like his co-pilot. You guys are co-pilots for one another. If I'm having a rough time and I'm about to go down, you're supposed to lift me up and not make me make a fool of myself, and vice versa. In this situation, I just feel like she could have done more. And you're right. Maybe that's what she thought. But my feeling is, you've been married to this man for over 20 plus years. You know him. You know his, like, you guys have had discussion. You know that, the next time this motherfucker say that, I'm a go in. He done probably had said that before.
Said that, yeah.
So when he got up, her first thought should have been, baby, sit down. Just if she got to rub his leg, grab his dick, whatever, calm him down, chill out. But she just did nothing. It was almost like she wanted it to happen. Like she wanted that smoke. She wanted it to go down. So I don't know. It just, I know part of it is because I still have some feelings about her.
It's a lot of biasness I feel like people have towards Jada. Like, a lot of people don't like her. A lot of people, sitting there saying that, like, I was privy to conversations this week that I was just like, really? He's being abused. I think she physically abuses him. I think she mentally abuses him. I think that's why he's reacting to please her and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that is a grown, big-ass man. She's a 5'2", 100-something soaking wet. And I'm not saying women cannot physically, attack their spouses or men. I'm not saying that. But the choice to get up there or go on that stage was Will's alone. It was not Jada. Jada didn't get up there. She didn't. So I'm like, if you got that smoke for her because she, quote unquote, cheated on Will, which both have said they didn't cheat because they had an open relationship. They had an open marriage. They did. They both fuck other people. You can't sit there and just say this is all her fault solely because you don't like her because you think she cheated with the little baby. And I'm going to call him the little baby because he was in his early 20s when the shit was going down. Right is right, wrong is wrong.
I don't think it's because they cheated. They have an open relationship. That's fine. It's the way in which she had that conversation with him at that table. She was like, just the way he was looking pitiful, and she just kept going in. It's like poking the bear and didn't care. And her mannerism. Stop
poking this way when you say poking the bear. That's what you gonna stop.
Do I?
You do it every time. You be like poking the bear.
Okay. Anyway, it just seemed like she just totally disrespected him in the way she handled
it. And I ask a lot of people about that too. I'm like, because a lot of people are like, she made him cry on the Red Table Talk. I said, show me the clip where he was crying. Show me. And she was disrespectful. She was sitting there saying all these things. I said, he asked her questions and she answered his questions. Granted, Red Table Talk is filmed before it's even released to the public. The same way we film, we can always edit some stuff out. We can leave it in. We can put stuff in. We can have it pointed in a way to make somebody look, crazy, or make somebody look good, or make somebody look, whatever. I think that, like he said, my wife never cheated on me because we've always had that understanding. He knew about August, just like she knew about all his women. The difference is, one of them makes the people they sleep with sign NDAs. The other one didn't. I bet you she knows now. But, that's a whole nother topic. To stick back to this one, I'm just confused on why the sole blame is a lot more placed on her when she sat in her seat, as opposed to him getting out of his seat. And
I think that we all know that Will Smith has been publicly and verbally abused by Jada Pinkett. I don't necessarily say it's her fault or she has some superpower where she can roll her eyes and send a subliminal message for him to get up and walk on stage and slap a man. I think he, like I said, he was nervous that night. He was on edge that night. He doesn't know if he's going to win or not. But he is always, always, always seeking the approval of Jada Pinkett Smith. And I just think that we have to remember or think about how many men do we know that have been incarcerated or murdered because they stepped up for a woman on some bullshit. That wasn't nothing for him to react to. He does not. So like I said, he was trying to exude his manhood. And some people were saying that he was channeling Tupac.
Oh,
he wasn't
God.
channeling Tupac because Tupac would have been mobbing up there.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Will Smith sashayed his little ass up there
Right.
and slapped somebody.
Right.
What gangster you know that feels that his wife was disrespected is not going to go on stage and knock a nigga out? He probably would have knocked him out. They would have had to cut to commercial.
And they both would have been
And
escorted.
he might not have even been able to host the show.
Mm-hmm.
Question. What gangster do you know that slapped somebody and then bust out crying? So you know it was a lot of emotions going on with him.
Yeah.
Wrong place, wrong time. You are a millionaire. You got too much to lose. Men with lesser to lose, like I said, have found themselves beat up, murdered, robbed, and incarcerated because they tried to show up for a female over something that was not that serious. And that was not that serious. It was not Jada's night, Will. That was your night. The only time he was supposed to step on that stage is when he was going to be presented for an award.
Exactly.
Point blank, period.
We're in agreement.
Totally agree on that.
Yeah, we're in agreement.
Yeah.
We are.
My thing now is the trickle down effect, because now 2022 Oscars will always be known for this situation right here. Not the fact that Samuel Jackson got an award, not the fact that Questlove got an award, none of that stuff. This has overshadowed everything.
Absolutely.
And it's so unfair.
Normally, after an Oscar, the movie that wins, they get more revenue.
Yes.
Nobody's talking about King Richard and how phenomenal that movie was.
Exactly.
This Oscar actually was for a role that was positive, that showed a black man in a positive light, that showed an amazing father. And nobody's talking about King Richard. They're talking about the goddamn slap.
Yes. That's the part.
I agree.
That's the unfortunate part about
That
it
is
all.
that. I mean, that's the consequence of the choice that he made.
So now he's had to resign
Yeah.
from the Academy. Now Netflix then pulled back on some projects that he had. Now his agent is saying that he's going to pull back. He's not going to, help him get any new deals. The trickle-down effect from something that was childish and immature.
Very, very.
It was very childish. You got too much to lose.
Yeah.
And see, when a black man gets murdered, we ask what about black on black crime? Was that not a black on black crime?
It was.
Was that not
It was an assault. It was
an assault?
Absolutely. Call it
This
what
is
it
a 53-year-old man. We talk about young boys. He's supposed to be a role model.
Thank you. That part.
On how you handle a situation. Chris Rock came out his mouth, then you come out your mouth later. But right now, before I get this award, I'm not doing anything. Hold your peace. Do you think if his father was alive, he would have ran up on that stage like that?
I don't know. I don't know. I think if his mother would have been there, I don't think he would have ran up on that stage.
Yeah.
I don't know if his father, because him and his father didn't have a great relationship until towards the end, where he was, transitioning and got sick.
But he still revered his father, so yeah.
But I think if his mom would have been there as opposed to Jada, I don't think he would have been up. Or even if his mom was there with Jada, because he wanted his mom to come and she stayed in her city with her friends. He mentioned that in the awards. But I think had she been there, I don't think Will would have gotten on that stage. I think he would have. I think he would have stayed in that seat and just
Yes.
he would have did one of those like he was doing everybody else that night when they was taking shots at him and Jada. I think he would have just gave him one of those. But let's be clear. There is record that there's been previous times where Will has issued warnings to Chris in the past about taking jabs at his wife. And I'm not making excuses. I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying how he handled it was acceptable. But he has issued warnings to Chris, like, stop talking about my wife. Like, what is your deal with every time you do something, Jada names come out? This is going back from 97 when she was in the Million Women's March. He took jabs at that a couple of times on his show, different people's shows when they were doing comedy. Yeah, just like Jada. And Jada every single time. And so after a while, like I said, I can understand why or how somebody could get fed up, because they're just like, if I gave you warnings, I've asked you nicely, I've asked you privately to stop. And then tonight, you're not a host. You're a presenter. You were presenting other people. You were presenting an award for documentaries. And then you decided to make jokes about, the other people that was nominated, which was, expected for comedians. And my wife's not even nominated. You ignored me, but you went straight for her. It's just like, so you basically telling me, fuck you. I don't respect you. I don't give a fuck what you tell me. I'm going to still talk about her every time I see her or think about it. I'm going to talk about her every time. I can understand that frustration where it's like, maybe if I do something, maybe he'll get that I'm serious when I say, leave my wife's name out your mouth. Maybe.
I just don't understand. And I've played back what he said many, many times, and it was not that big of a jab. I mean, he didn't say straight out, look at you, bald-headed heifer, or nothing like that. He referenced a movie where there was somebody else in there with a short haircut, but I don't know. Maybe I don't know. That wasn't warranted, his reaction. But again, we've all been in a place where we overreact on some stuff. I get it. I've done it too. But, and then later you have these major regrets. And now, unfortunately, he's paying for it. He's going to pay a heavy price absolutely. For that infraction or, whatever you want to call it. But he definitely, that was not a good move.
Yeah.
What if Chris Rock would have hit him back?
Their careers both would have been in jeopardy.
What if he would have damaged Chris's eardrum or something?
Or busted
with
broke
a slap,
his jaw.
With a slap?
With a slap.
I've been slapped and
Women
been a
been slapped
slapper.
and lost their hearing.
I had a ringing in the ear for 4 days.
Women been slapped and lost their hearing.
Yes.
What if Chris decides to sue Will Smith and the Academy? And then here's the thing. When he did his acceptance speech, he kind of threw Richard Williams under the bus. Oh, I guess I'm acting like the crazy father that they said he was. Come on, dude. And his daughters was in that audience.
Thank you.
It was, everything was all bad there.
Yeah. It really was.
Yeah.
You're talking about my wife. Can we say you maybe he just wanted his wife?
I think so. That could be it.
I make too much goddamn money to give a damn, to the point where I'm about to lose it all over somebody saying something. I'm a grown-ass adult.
Yeah.
That's not, she's still not in danger. I don't care how many times you mention her.
True.
Maybe he keeps mentioning her because that's where he gets the biggest laughs from. That's how he gets his next tour, because he keeps on talking about her. I make too much money. I got too much to lose. My husband has too much to lose. And I'm going to go back to what you said, when you know your man, you know when he's about to be triggered. Will doesn't present like that.
Yeah.
And for him to get mad over a joke, he's the joke boy. He's the jokey
clown.
dude anyway. So she didn't know his bad language, because he doesn't do no shit like that.
Agreed.
So soon as he went to rise up,
she should have.
Sit your ass down. Not right now.
You're not going to embarrass me. That's my biggest thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You're not going to embarrass me. You're not going to embarrass me.
Now the real Jada going to show you, no, you're not.
Sit your ass down.
Because what if he knock your punk ass out?
Thank you. Because you know you can't scribe.
Yeah, that's what the one thing that I would lose my respect is for a man that I know he ain't about that life, and he go out there trying to swing on somebody. That's embarrassing.
It is.
That's embarrassing.
So that's why I give Chris major, he composed himself and kept himself under control, because I don't know how many guys that would have been able to do that. I think anyone's natural reaction when you get slapped across the face is to either swing back. That's another reason why I didn't think it was real, is because usually you're going to at least go like, and then take off. But he didn't do nothing. He, like you said, he kept his hands behind his back.
But he had his fist balled up.
He brought his fist.
Oh, he did.
brought his fist.
He brought his fist,
Oh,
and then he opened it back. But he did.
So he stopped himself.
Oh, see, he was under control.
Because something said, boop.
Yeah.
Oh, we got too much
dollar signs. Yeah.
And then as Will Smith was walking back, and he said, oh.
Will Smith
Well,
smacked the
just slap
shit out
the
of me.
shit out.
She started laughing.
And he did too. He had a
So
little smirk
where
on
was
his
she
face.
hurt? He was crying on stage. Did Jada ever shed a tear?
No.
Did she say, oh, shit, he about to lose it all?
Well, they about to feel it now.
This is a perfect example of when you think what you have is a dime has caused you to lose your life legacy, and now your shit has been reduced to a penny. Will was out of control. And then you have people saying that white people have slapped people on stage. Y'all gonna have to remember, y'all can't do what white people do.
Thank you.
Because white people was paying you money.
Right.
And something else about it, as Adrianne brought up, Samuel Jackson got an honorary. Questlove got an honorary. I think a deaf person.
he got it. It wasn't.
Well,
Questlove
he got an Oscar.
he got it. He got Oscar.
A deaf person got an Oscar. This was the first black production.
Mr.
That's
Packard.
another part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you ruined it for not only
lot
yourself,
of people.
but a lot of people. This one, everybody should have been on their best behavior.
Yeah.
We can't have any kind of incidents. Everybody is watching us.
Right.
We said we were not included. And on the one time
here
that
we
we're
are.
included.
And two of the three actual hosts were black women.
Right.
Black female comedians.
And
Because this last time they had a black female comedian host was Whoopi Goldberg.
Right.
And that was a very long time ago.
Right.
Wow, that was.
Yeah, black producer as well.
Mr. Packard, yeah,
Mr.
the producer. Yeah. Yep.
All bad.
It was,
all
yeah.
bad.
We finally got the diversity that they wanted.
That they begged for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That they boycotted
So
for.
now that's how they can say,
We're going to go back to...
we can't do it.
So now
This
the
is
white
what
folks
happens.
back out.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It's
Yeah.
really unfortunate. Really unfortunate.
Final thoughts?
I can only say that. I know that sometimes we lose control. But when you are a partner, you have a partner, your partner should be there to help you stay under control. And I think that she failed him a little bit right there. Not a little bit, a lot of it. Because I think the outcome would have been way different had she could have just tugged on his coattail just a little bit, and just said, hey, baby, sit down. Just wait. Still, at the end of the day, he is responsible for his behaviors. I get that. But that's your man. And sometimes we have to check them. We got to nudge them. We got to kick them under the table. We got to do whatever. Pinch. Exactly. Give them the look like, whatever you got to do. Get him together. Y'all could handle Chris later. And see him in traffic. Pull over in the back of the Oscars, whatever. But don't make a fool and embarrass us out here on this platform, where we have had the opportunity now to, like we were just talking about, all these things was a first for so many people. And now it's not ever going to be remembered because of this thing has overshadowed it. So we have to remember to stay in control. When you feel those triggers coming about, I'm about to start tripping, sit your ass down. Thank you.
Not thank you. That's your Oscar
That's it.
conversation?
Yes.
Thank you.
Deuces.
I would say, you know what? Sometimes we make choices and decisions that most people won't make, that most people won't agree with. Sometimes we are going to do things that out of passion, out of emotions, that when we finally do get to that rational mindset, we realize, shit, I fucked up. And one or two things can happen. One, you can catch it in time and you can, do better. Or two, it's too late and some heavy consequences and penalties are coming your way. For Will, I think that him resigning from the Oscar Academy, him being positions, some of his positions that he was actually getting ready to do, or movies, now being put on the back shelf, and some of the projects that they had are now being delayed or canceled. I think he's going to, be penalized like some of the previous actors who were blacklisted for quite a few years and had to work their way back through it if they want to come back. I do think that he's listening. He knows he fucked up. He knows that if he can go back in time, he probably would have kept his ass in that chair. I think that he knows that he did a big no-no, but at the same time, I find it interesting that the token black guy, the one that's always kind of made the right decisions in his career, made one mistake, and that one mistake now has cost him millions. And that is a lesson that sometimes we have to get and understand, that one choice could just change your whole legacy. And for him, this is that story. And this is something that we have to understand. Not every battle is worth it. Not every argument is worth responding to. Not every poke is worth giving attention to. And I think that Chris has been poking for a long time, and he normally ignores this. This is the one time where he's like, and it cost him. Chris is used to being bullied. He had shows that talked about it. He got bullied in junior high, bullied in high school. He knows what it's like to poke, say some fucked up shit, get smacked and beat, protect himself, and keep on moving. He talked about it on Everybody Hates Chris. He knows what he's doing. Hence why I believe, and it's just my opinion, I believe that that's why he didn't press charges. My opinion. I don't know. But what I will say is we don't have to respond to everything. We can ignore it as hard as it can be. Mm-hmm. We can make that choice to ignore it and say, you're not even worth it. Because there are some people in this world that have nothing to lose. Mm-hmm. And when they have nothing to lose, those are the ones that come for you. But if you know you got something to lose, if you know that you are on something, you on your purpose, you're on this plan, this movement to get to a higher position in life, you got to ignore the people that's beneath you. You can't go low. Or as Miss Obama would say, when they go low, you go high. You can't go low with them. You gotta ignore it and step above. Or you could do like some of the men in my life said they would have did. Check his ass in private. Mm-hmm. Just that simple. Catch him by yourself in private, no cameras, and then do what you got to do. You want to slap him, nobody's around, it'll be hearsay. I heard Will slap the shit out of. Yeah. But there's no proof, right? But you definitely don't do it in front of cameras. You don't do it on the Oscars. You don't do it because it low key looks like how they expect us to behave on reality shows. Mm-hmm. And this man is not, that's never been his presentation for his career. It's always been the clean, squeaky rapper, clean, squeaky actor, clean, squeaky husband, even when he does do his thing. So try not to respond to every battle. Mm-hmm. Pick your battles wisely. Pick them. And that's my final thought.
The real award goes to Chris Rock. Chris Rock said that he was bullied when he was little because he was a small child. And then he actually started getting busted, and he was bullied because he was little and he was black. And one day he took a brick and he put it in a sock, and somebody that was bullying him almost died, where he had to seek therapy, and he promised his mother that he would never act out in anger again. So shout out to him for being able to suppress that anger, because when he got slapped, he could have snapped, and it could have been all bad. For Mr. Will Smith, you have been married to a woman that has publicly stated she never wanted to marry you. You have been with a woman for 2 decades or more that has stated that nothing that you do is pleasing to her. The house you bought, you didn't buy it for her. You bought it for yourself. She's emasculated you. She's been had an entanglement. You know, she's talked about your sex life. Your children are not too stable. Your own son doesn't even want to be a part of the family anymore. Stop trying to make this woman, this female happy. Be happy. Be real. Be yourself. She ain't gonna love you more because of what you did, because you shouldn't have did it in the first place. And she can say, I didn't tell him to do it. See, that's why I don't like him. See what kind of shit he be doing? It's really sad. I feel for everybody that was involved that may not ever get an opportunity to do something as spectacular as King Richard was. The father actually made a statement via his son. He said, I don't know what happened. I don't know everything that occurred. However, I do not condone violence, only in self-defense. So, yes, I really, really have to say that she was not in any danger. She was not threatened. We expect adults to be adults. Let's play grown-up, shall we, next time.
All right, well, this is BGP. Please like, share, subscribe. Let us know your thoughts on this episode. I want y'all to give a special shout out to Mona's shoulders.
Whatever.
In her green.
And her
Damn.
green.
I was channeling Jada Pinkett.
Okay. You did well. You did well.
Sure did.
Let's give her a shout out. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Like, share, subscribe. We're out.
Bye.